trouble for doing this.
Not anymore. Things have changed.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today we're going to go over your next dose of the salty batch files. So let's take a look and see how the coping is turned around. Let's see what kind of excuses they're making for the brand and them being full on third party. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I said, what we're going to do is get right to the plot points here in regards to the salt. Let's start off with everybody's favorite ex-IGN, at least to some, staff member, Destin Legary here, because let's see how salty he is in regards to this. And again, we're going to keep hearkening back to Gears of War preeminently here, really, because that is one of the big of the Trinity, right? The Forza, the Halo, the Gears, all that stuff. So this is why we keep hearkening back to that, right? So he states in regards to Push Square's announcement stating the Xbox Gears of War Reloaded will play best on PS5 Pro. He doesn't like that, folks, so what does he say? It'll play best on PC. Yeah, saying the Xbox refugee over to PC. Yes, it will play best on PC, as it should, depending on the parts and pieces you have. So again, that's a kind of a play on words, because not everybody's PC is well equipped to play Gears of War Reloaded, to that being on par for that of the price entry point of the PS5 Pro, especially at the time of recording here. I believe the days of play still going on. You're still getting a $50 discount. Even cheaper for a high-powered system that's just a plug-and-play method, but you gotta love the salt. You can't just move on. It'll play best on PC. Maybe his $5,000 PC, maybe. I would assume so, $5,000. But, and I don't know if he has a $5,000, but I know it's in a higher-end tiered PC. But again, you gotta love to see it. He can't just keep his mouth shut and move on. That's how salty somebody of his status is being salty to the max. But you love to see it, I know I do. But let's go over to the next statement from the busted can of biscuits himself, Risk It here. As we continue to go on, is hashtag Xbox turning hashtag PlayStation into an Xbox? What does that mean for PlayStation's identity? I will tell you exactly what that means for PlayStation's identity. That means they're going to continue to get the third-party games from third-party full-on publisher Microsoft, aka Xbox, aka you're just like Ubisoft and EA at this point. So no, nothing different is happening to PlayStation at this point in time. You are just answering your own question, hypothetically. I don't know where you're trying to turn this through or from, but again, the cope and the salt is real. What does that mean for PlayStation's identity? It means nothing. But what does it mean for Microsoft's and Xbox's identity? That means they're full-on third party. That's exactly what that means. I don't know what else to elaborate there, buddy. That's all that means. But let's keep going there. Let's go over to Falco X. Now, I love this coping mechanism right here as we continue, right? Just get an Xbox and Game Pass. Save thousands of dollars a year on the best games on any platform and forget about game prices, guys. Also, quick resume the hell out of them all at the same time. A generation-defining feature no other hardware has been able to achieve. I would say that Falco's probably one of the worst salesmen ever of all time, just about. I've come across a lot, some good ones, some bad ones. He's in the lower tier, for sure. If I'm selling somebody on a console system, in an ecosystem, I definitely am not bringing up quick resume as a genre-defining piece of tech or piece of technology. I think it's fine. It works. It's there. That's great. Personally, I don't switch between game after game after game and have it pop up where it was. It's not that hard to just select the game, have it load up, especially with these SSDs. It's not that big of a deal, especially on these consoles for PlayStation 5 and Xboxes. It's not a big deal. I've talked to people, a lot of people in person, friends, family, a lot of you online. quick resume is not a must-have or a genre-defining thing. Is it nice to have? Sure, it's an option. Who doesn't like options? But to lead with that is genre-defining, generation-defining. No, it's not. And again, why are we harping on Game Pass? If people wanted to, quote, save money, there's too many caveats to Game Pass. There's just too many. This is not a selling point for Xbox for those that don't even know about it or do know about it. It's, are you utilizing Game Pass? That full amount, which again is going to go up in price at the end of the year, is what the rumor stated, right? If that goes up, even if it stays the same, if you're not playing an X amount of games, the value's not there. And no, it doesn't matter if you're putting an hour into 50 different games, you're still not getting the most out of those games. You're not getting the full quality or the full effect or the immersion, anything you want to correlate to that. You're not getting that full experience. And that's what these rental and subscription services do. And I will tell you, because I have subscribed to both Game Pass before, I have subscribed to PS Plus Premium and Extra before. I do not utilize these services because I utilize what I am bought, what I have bought for these video games, and that is the value to me. So I spend the time with my hard-earned money to a game, to its completion, to get all I can out of that game. A lot of folks do not have the time to sit there and dilly-dally within these subscription services and pop back and forth between all these games. They just don't, especially the casuals. What are they leaning towards? Free-to-play stuff, Warzone, Fortnite, Rivals, Overwatch 2, etc., etc. That's what they're doing, is utilizing these free-to-play methods over anything else. So this is actually a horrible idea to consistently, in my opinion, start putting out the Game Pass stuff because, well, that's all you got left. Try to save you some money and do this. That's not working for everybody. So you are not being realistic with everybody's expectations. You can give the options for sure, but you're not being realistic and you're on your back pedal. Your foot is backed up. You're backed against a wall as an Xbox fanboy to this stature. That's exactly what you're doing. But again, defense force, it's full effect right here. Don't know what else to state. And just quick shout out to Hannah here. So remember when idiots like Falco X, all these guys, he has them all tags, right? And shared this image. Remember when they told everybody it was their generation to have? And that's what his response was, Falco's response to that, right? So that really fired him up. Why are we wrong? Because you just not long ago thought that exclusives mattered, and now they don't, and you're back on the Game Pass wagon. You're full of crap. This is why nobody believes you. You keep harming the brand. You keep spouting nonsense. No one's going to believe you except for your normal circus clowns that follow you. Simple as that. Let's continue. As we get over to the next part here, we do have King David, who recently went to a few different events here, especially with the latest Xbox event Direct, and got to meet a bunch of people, got to be all chummy there and everything like that. But again, he makes stupid posts like this, so I can only imagine when he meets folks like Mark Cerny and such that they're just like, hey, who is this guy? And if they do know him, they're like, oh, great, let's get this over with. But anywho, as he can state here, this is the face of dominance. Do we not see how kind of the lack of self-awareness here, folks? He has the PlayStation 5 console, the Pro even. This is an Xbox. You're right, it is an Xbox. Because it's playing a lot of the Xbox games, and it's going to continue to get more because there is no red line. Hashtag the whole slate is coming. Welcome to being full-on third party. This is not the face of dominance. Where's EA? Where's Ubisoft? All that stuff. I'm going to keep bringing these guys up because that's exactly what they are. This is not dominance. This is delusion. This is dementia. Do we not understand what's happening in real time? Do we not understand what's happening in real time? This is coping at its highest level right here. And he doesn't stop, and he sits there and does that. It's just all a grift, though. So I don't know. There's two ways to look at this, guys. There's two ways to look at this. Either he's doing it for the grift, the lying, the shilling, to keep that community there, so he gets the super chats, he gets the subs, he gets all the endorsements, all this stuff that he gets from his audience, right? Or B, he really is that stupid. He really is that stupid and delusional. Either way, it's really bad. Picking A or B, it's really bad. Again, I don't know what to lean towards. I really don't, because I don't know them personally. much like a lot of us don't. So I don't know if he's really just grifting and shilling and all the stuff that a lot of these guys normally do, or he's truly that delusional and that much of an idiot. It can really go both ways. You can flip a coin and make a case for each point at this point in time, but if you guys have further insight into this, feel free to let us all know down in the comments below. I would love to know. I'm baffled at this point in time because he doesn't stop. But as we continue here, let's take a look at Guerilla Joe here, Guerilla Boss 1. He states, Microsoft Rewards haven't paid a penny for Game Pass since 2021. Any other questions? No, I don't have any other questions. And this is in response, of course, Crap Gamer and Xbox News, right? This is exactly why Xbox is in the place it's at. Not only Game Pass, not only the fact you guys aren't buying the games when you have the opportunity to buy the games or should have bought in the games, you continue to utilize the reward system, and I don't understand. I understand there's commercialism. I understand there's advertisement costs and this and that from the surveys. I get Microsoft still gets some sort of reimbursement to a point, but again, this doesn't help in the long run. This doesn't help your ecosystem and brand that you so-called love and like in the long run. So you touting that you're utilizing a reward system to not pay a penny since 2021? This post was made at the end of May in 25. So we're looking at 4 years of not paying a dime for any video game or for Game Pass. This is exactly why this is the state you're in. And then you're going to turn around and be all butthurt that Microsoft is third party. Poor choices lead in poor results here, folks. This is what should be on a pedestal right now of why. One of the main reasons of why Microsoft had to go full on third party. This is why they recently had to do a ROG Ally with an Xbox buttons and stickers on it with a dedicated Xbox button that you can play dedicated certain PC games, not even console games, instead of releasing their actual native console for a hybrid handheld, whatever the case it is. We'll see what happens in the future. But again, these choices lead to those poor results and things that the fans don't want. But again, you make your own bed, you lie in it, right? Let's keep on going here. Now, we have plenty of receipts for General MLD. This is one of the billion. A lot of us have them. He changes that goalpost. It doesn't matter what facts you bring to his table. He will change it and change it and change it. But here we go. We have one from just a little over a year ago. It started with Minecraft, Fallout 76, Elder Scrolls Online, Call of Duty. This isn't a new practice. When big single-player games get ported to PlayStation like Gears or Starfield, hey, I'll be right with everyone else calling Xbox out. So what does he do later on, folks? What's the changing of the goalposts this time? This is one I've seen thrown around a lot here. So he states, you adapt or you cry. This shouldn't surprise Xbox fans anymore. The objective is to beat PS on games, PlayStation on games. Whether it's PC, cloud, mobile, and even PS charts. They're doing that this year. Again, I don't know why I say they doing that this year. He's not from he's not from the hood. Let's just put it that way. He's not from the hood. I don't know why he tries to act like that. Very excited to play regardless where it is. Fire emoji. He won't be playing this on PlayStation, I promise you that, because he is very, very anti-PlayStation. Now, what's interesting here is the fact that he's trying to make a case again. Whether it's PC, cloud, mobile, and even PlayStation charts, they're trying to beat PlayStation on games. When you are, and let me clarify this like I just said halfway through this video. Let me really clarify and drive home this point. When you are full-on third-party, all your single-player games, all your first-party games are going to your biggest competing platform. You are full-on third-party. Yes, PlayStation is third-party. They have their single-player games and stuff on PC as well. PC is considered another platform. They are technically third-party, but not every single game has went to PC at this point in time. Doesn't mean you can't emulate them, but the main point is PlayStation is not putting all those games, first-party games, like single-player games, on Xbox at this time, nor do I see that happening in the future, because I don't see Xbox having a hardware piece of console, dedicated console in the future. How far off? I don't know for sure, but I don't see that lasting. Their numbers aren't working for Game Pass. They're not jumping where they should be. They're supposed to be at a certain amount by 2027. It's not going to happen. If COD did not move the needle enough, it's not going to happen. All right, that was the Hail Mary. It didn't move it enough. It's done. We'll see even if Game Pass sticks around. It probably will. It's a third-party offering. They probably have to shift things around, continually jack up the price. The fans will continue paying for that. It might keep it sustainable for longer than what a lot of us would think it would. But ultimately, there's no beating what we're trying to circle around here. There's no beating PlayStation on the games when you're full on third-party, right? EA is not trying to beat PlayStation in the games department. Ubisoft is not trying to beat PlayStation in the games department. Square Enix, anybody else that is a third-party company putting their games on every platform that they possibly can, is not trying to beat PlayStation at the games. Microsoft at this point is no different. Their game plan is now putting their games everywhere. Their game plan is making as much money by putting their games everywhere as quickly as possible, whatever nets them that money, right? Paying back this ABK and ZeniMax deal that they did, paying back Game Pass for not increasing the numbers quickly enough. They're paying back a lot of things. And by doing that, you become full on third party. There is no narrative where that makes sense. It's over, General MLD. You'll never accept this. You won't ever accept this, at least at face value. But it's over. It's done. There are no more console wars. Nintendo's doing its own thing. PlayStation is now, and they needed the competition. Don't get me wrong. They needed the competition. My wish was not for Xbox to go away. But the fans and idiots like General MLD were a big hand in having this happen. And a big hand in spreading misinformation, overhyping, grifting, shilling, whatever you want to call it at this point in time. All these figureheads did. All these talking heads did that. They destroyed the brand. They destroyed the competition within themselves. Sad to see the coping, more than salt this week, the coping is at an all-time high. That being said, we will wrap up the video at this point in time, folks. If you stuck around for the entirety of it, I really do appreciate that. Of course, if you haven't already, leave a like, comment down below. Both those things do help out the algorithm. I do love to hear from you all as well. If you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself. Much appreciated. In addition to that, obviously, at the end of the day, always remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault Gaming video. And until then, take care.